Alright guys, and welcome to what is going to be episode number 1 of this new PES 19 career mode with Chelsea. Now, I know we talked about whether I were going to do Chelsea or Arsenal for this career mode, and ultimately I decided that it were going to have to be Chelsea. I just could not bring myself to do an Arsenal save. Not yet anyway, maybe I'll build up to it and do that next time. But yeah, for now we are doing a Chelsea save. We have installed the option files for the Premier League, the Championship, La Liga and Serie A, and we've also got like competition logos and stuff like that for some of the leagues like Premier League, Championship, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Is that in it? No, it's not, is it? Champions League, Europa League, and I think we might have the Spanish equivalent of the FA Cup. The name is it Copa del Rey? I think we've got that in as well, so hopefully it won't be too weird looking at things and knowing that they're not normal. So it might just be if we come up against like some other countries like French teams, Swiss, Belgian, etc. But I know PES has got a lot more of the licenses this year, so maybe it won't be too bad. Settings wise, we are sticking with classic because, you know, I'm not that good on PES yet. I've not played it that much, so I don't want to be messing around with that. The challenge mode, match level, we're not going superstar, which is the top one, but my offline save, that just to get used to playing game, I am playing as top player, so we are going to emulate that this time around as well. 10 minutes, pounds, classic players off, only when there's progress. Basic settings. We're going for the club team lineup rather than the Master League lineup. We want it as realistic to the proper league in real world as possible. Now we need to choose the club. Now, like I said, we are going with Chelsea. If you see, I have got all the badges, the team names, etc. So hopefully things will be a little bit less confusing. But yeah, let's start with Chelsea and get cracking with this first episode of this career mode. Now, I haven't messed about with the customization options for the manager too much. I've just basically made him bald with a beard and brown eyes. That'll do. It's not meant to be that realistic, is it? Let's face it. And it's the football on the pitch that matters, not the how much the manager looks like me. That's probably a good thing as well. It's bad enough you've got to see this little camera version of me in bottom corner without seeing manager looking exactly like me as well. So this is one of the things that I like about PES, and you get these cool little cutscenes like this. I probably could skip them, and I will skip them a little bit, but yeah, August 2018 you joined Chelsea as their manager, and there we go. Obviously fielded all the questions that I'm going to field, just pose for the cameras, something that I don't like doing in real life, but obviously this is a famous version of me. Club secretary, let me be first to congratulate you on taking the helm for Chelsea. And the club secretary, I can't wait to start working with you. Club staff will make sure that you have all the information you need to run the club. We're in the transfer window at the moment, which means you've got 1 month to get your team ready for the up and coming season. I already know what I'm going to do in terms of business. Hopefully we can pull that off. First game of the International Cup kicks off tomorrow. I'm going to play 2 games in this episode, but I want to try and get a bit of business done as well, so you know, it'll probably not be as long as it will be once we get the game going. I'm going to do the same on this as what I do with FIFA. Transfer window periods, there'll be 2 games an episode, and then when we're out of the transfer window, I'll be doing 3 games. But for now, we are going to have a couple of friendly games in this episode, and then see what business we can get done in between. In terms of game plan, I am going to play the basic formation that Chelsea do currently use. I'm going to edit things a little bit, so I'm going to put my wing backs a little bit wider. I'm also going to play the middle of the central midfielders a little bit deeper, and we are going to call that defensive midfielder. Same with the wingers. I think I'm going to move them up and out just a little bit. I said wingers, they're more like inside forwards, but I know Hazard is deadly on this game, and he will be getting a lot of game time. I'm just going to make sure that the bench has got everybody on it that I want. Looks like it has. I think we are going to play Willian over Pedro. I think most of the team is how I'd want it. David Luiz is going to be getting transfer listed anyway, so we don't want him in the starting lineup. We've got Azpilicueta at right back. He can stay there for now, although he's probably going to play more as a centre back, but that depends if we sign right backs or not. But yeah, that team looks about how I want it leading into this friendly tournament. Just got to see what we can do in terms of business. In terms of negotiations, I know roughly what I want to do with this. Obviously, budgets work a little bit different on this than they do in FIFA, and it took me a while to get used to it when I was doing a quick offline save just to get used to gameplay. But I think I've just about got it figured out now, so hopefully it will be alright. Now, the first player that I want to try and bring in is a player that's probably going to need no introduction. Is at Barcelona. Oh well, apparently his name is wrong. I'm guessing it's because it's got little accents on it, so we're going to have to go by club. So we'll find La Liga. There we go. And find Barcelona and find him that way. There we go. Yeah, it's because it's got accents of an E. Now I am going to go in for Dembele. I'm going to try and do a trade. My aim for this career mode is that I want to basically get rid of older players and replace them with young. So that means the likes of Willian and Pedro are both going to be on the way out. At least one of them anyway, maybe both. We'll have to see about that. Will there be any interest in Pedro? That's the question. And what is it going to cost me to do that trade? They want just over 4 million, which I am more than happy to pay. I don't want that release fee in, and I obviously want him for more than a couple of years, but we'll slap some bonuses in. So an appearance bonus, goal bonus, maybe a win bonus. 91%, that seems pretty good. What? Yeah, we need to offer that amount of money. They will not take any less plus Pedro. But I am quite happy to pay that, so we'll submit that offer and see what happens. Now we do need to sort out players that we don't want as well, and there are going to be quite a few. Players like Fabregas, he is going to be getting transfer listed. He's a cracking player, but like I said, my aim for this season, or this career mode, is to replace older players with younger. So that means Giroud can leave as well. Alonso will be keeping for now. Cahill, he can leave. Van Ginkel, I'm not convinced about, but I will keep him around. I know he's not exactly old, but I'm not convinced he's going to be a regular starter, especially when we've got the likes of Barkley and Loftus-Cheek. Pedro, I've transfer listed him anyway. Moses, not a player I like, so if we can bring some money in for him, then we will do. David Luiz, he can skedaddle. Danny Drinkwater, probably not going to be good enough, so we'll transfer list him. Tammy Abraham, I think we will loan list, because he's not going to get first team action, but I don't want to sell him yet. Same with quite a few. We'll like loan list Ampadu, Hudson-Odoi. Both players that do look like they are going to be cracking in future, but not players that are going to get any significant game time. So we will loan list those. I think that's about everybody. I did say we're going to get rid of Willian, didn't I, as well? Add Willian to the transfer list. I know he's only like 30 or 31, but if we can replace with younger players, then we are going to do that. Now, I'm not going to put any sort of limits on myself about who I can sign. I'm not going to avoid signing Spurs players. I'm not going to avoid signing anybody that I signed in the Tottenham save on FIFA or the Liverpool save. I'm not going to avoid Liverpool players. I'm just going to try and assemble the best squad I can. So we will see how things go. Obviously, I'm going to have a lot of players to replace, but we need to wait for players to leave before we actually can replace them. So got to wait for some offers to come in, and for now we'll move forward to what's probably going to be the first game of the episode. Well, it could have been a lot easier, couldn't it, this friendly tournament, because we've got Barcelona, Lyon and Roma in this tournament with us, so they don't want to make it easy on us, but we'll try and do as best as we can, because there's obviously money online. I think we are moving straight towards the game. Manager's given us a mission. He wants us to win this competition. Not like putting pressure on us straight away, is there? Cheers, Abramovich. So look at these lineups then. Game number 1 is against Roma. We are starting with Kepa in goal, Rudiger and Christensen at centre-back, Alonso and Azpilicueta at wing-backs, Jorginho, Kante and Kovacic in my midfield 3. Hazard and Willian are out wide, supporting Alvaro Morata up front. Now, obviously I have played a little bit, but I am not going to claim to be the world's greatest PES player. So, then again, I'm not the world's greatest FIFA player either, and you sit and watch me play that, so we'll see. I have got to admit, I am enjoying PES a lot more than I am FIFA. And I do feel kind of guilty for saying that. That were a great challenge. Ball's into Dzeko. Here's Under. Well done. Well won. Pellegrini firing it forward, looking for Under. Now, I will admit, while I was learning to play this, when I played the first game of the pre-season tournament on my offline save, I had 3 players sent off and I lost 5-1 to Inter Milan. Obviously, it took me a while to learn about tackling and stuff like that. It's a lot different to FIFA. But I think I got there in end. See, now I can actually make tackles without risking getting a red card like 95% at the time. Oh, we got Hazard through. We have. And then he completely stops running at ball. Alonso going in for the head. Does win it. Morata doesn't win the ball. Pellegrini finds Pastore. This is Al-Sharawi. Azpilicueta doesn't really deal with it, but the ball is out for a throw. Willian does lose the ball, but we still keep control of it. Kante making a run. We don't use him. We find... we're offside. So we find Morata, and he could have found Hazard then. Here's De Rossi. Ball fired to Pastore. We do get a block on it. Oh, we did that away in a daft place though, didn't we? Here's Dzeko, and that is wide by a whisker. How did Dzeko miss target from there? Actually hit that pass way stronger than I intended to. Dzeko, big number 9, wide. Wasting passes. Fortunately, we're getting away with it a bit here, and that is 0-0 at half-time. Referee blows his whistle. So, it does like to make them surging runs down the wing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I do like to play with... Oh, Dzeko's finally done it. Third time we're asking, Dzeko finally finds the back of the net. I'm just saying I do like to make them surging runs with wing-backs and have my wide men cut inside as inside forwards. We are going to have to hopefully get one of them surging runs now, because Dzeko has made it 1-0. Alright, we are making some changes now then. We are taking Willian off Pedro, Kovacic off for Fabregas, and we have taken Rudiger off as well for David Luiz. Oh, I thought we were going to get his first shot on goal then. It was just picked out from under his feet, and here's El Shaarawy. He's in on his own, and he lobs Kepa, and that's 2. Where were my defence? My defence was sat so high then. Just look at all that space behind. Every defender were up front. And I have got, like, when we lose ball, I've got it set to be quite defensive, but my defence should not be pushed that far up the pitch. Here's Fabregas. Out wide, finds Hazard. And we still can't get a shot on goal. Could lump this back in, though. Looking for Hazard. Alonso trying to win the ball in the air, and that's fired back upfield. Alonso has got plenty of options. There's Morata, and that is wide. It weren't Morata, it was Pedro, I think. How high and wide were it? That's the question. Very. Oh, we could break here. We have got tired legs, but hopefully we can just take advantage. Not with passes like that, I suppose. Fired out wide and then get away wastefully. Roma are backing off. There's Pedro to Hazard. Oh, and Hazard's fired over. That were a waste. That could have been 2-1. And there we go. That is the full-time whistle. Roma 2, Chelsea 0. There we go. Pedro has left the club and Dembele has joined the club. So I think we are going to put Dembele straight into the starting lineup. It says that they might not be accustomed to team instructions. So maybe we'll put him on bench for now. Yeah, it's confirmed starting lineup then. We've got Kepa in net, David Luiz and Azpilicueta at centre-back, Marcos Alonso and Zappacosta at wing-backs, Jorginho, Kante and Barkley are my central three, Hazard and Willian are my inside forwards, and Alvaro Morata up front. Alright, Barcelona kicking off. What can we do against probably the best team in the world? I think this is genuinely going to be a bit of a struggle. David Luiz, not going to drag him out wide. Great save by Kepa from close. That's going to be a free kick. Yeah, kind of sloppy. Oh, great save by Kepa. Didn't quite put enough power on that, but Alonso is going to get a chance to cross this in. And that were a really, really tame header by Zappacosta. And Suarez again, header quite wide at the target, which you don't expect from Luis Suarez, but not going to complain. How far off was it? Quite high and wide. This time do get the ball past David Luiz. Stand tall, and that's it. Barcelona broke the deadlock. Suarez doesn't miss on the third time we're asking. Luis Suarez, 1-0 Barcelona. With that much space in centre, I think I need to make my team a little bit more narrow. I think I've got them spread out too much. I think that might be the problem. Kante finds Hazard. Morata tried finding it back to Hazard. Here's Alonso. Oh, again, too many touches. Finds Hazard. Alonso once again making that run. Here's Morata. Turn, and we've fired it way over by Alonso. Barkley chasing Messi. Oh, Messi does everybody. Well knocked down though. Here's Willian. Finds Hazard. Hazard in a ton of space. Willian tries to open up. There's a block. That will be a corner. I'm going to curl this away from goal. A little bit too close to Ter Stegen, unfortunately, and that brings us to half time. Referee blows his whistle. 1-0 Barca. As Morata finds Dembele, first touch of the game, or he pulled back for a shot then, and that tackle came in brilliantly. There's Arthur on the ball, another player that's going to be cracking in future, I think. Oh, David Luiz should have been first to that. There's Loftus-Cheek. Kante challenged. Loftus-Cheek comes back in for it. Does win it. Finds Hazard. Hazard turns his man. Loftus-Cheek can't pull the trigger. Find Dembele. Dembele blocked, and Barcelona can finally break. We've pulled David Luiz quite far out, and that might be a mistake. Dembele looking to make a pass. Going to swing that in. Can't get his head on it, and that is knocked out for a Chelsea throw. Good interception. Loftus-Cheek. Oh, Loftus-Cheek gives it away nearly. And Alonso. That should have been a free kick or a penalty, either one, because I turned around then before that challenge came in. Busquets finds Alba, and there we go. Referee blows his whistle. That is 1-0 to Barcelona. Second defeat of the episode. Abramovich wanted us to win this tournament. It looks like we're going to finish last with the way things are going. Yeah, we are dead last. Lyon and Roma got a draw. So the best we can finish is third. That's not going to please Abramovich, is it? Well, not the start that we wanted on this career mode, but it is going to take me a while to get used to playing this opposed to FIFA, and let's face it, I'm not the best FIFA player either, so why is it any surprise that I'm not great at PES? For now though guys, that is the end of today's episode, the end of this first episode in this PES series. If you want to see how... Well, first of all, if you enjoyed this episode, twat that thumbs up button, give it a like. If you want to see how we get on with this PES career mode, then hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with all future content. And other than that guys, cheers for watching, and as usual, I'll see you next time.